back for another video. Now today I'll be doing a react video on Ashley's analyst free from Twitter. Anyway, let's get started.
Hi everyone. I often get asked for comment or my opinion on videos that have been posted on Twitter. And if I do comment, I always go with the same standpoint I do on the channel. In other words, what could both parties have done better? This has caused problems over the years because people often only see things from their perspective, and this is where my anti-cyclist tag comes from. This was categorically proved recently after I did my video of the 5-year-old riding a bike with the father following. The father effectively encouraged the child into a pinch point and increased risk. And just because the father didn't agree with my opinion, he issued a copyright strike against my channel.
You're fine, carry on. Carry on.
Okay, that car there should wait until the boy on the cyclist has passed him, obviously, because he can't be bothered to wait, obviously, because he's probably too impatient to get round the boy on the cycle.
You have a stop. What are you doing?
Okay, who are you telling to move out the way? Are you telling the boy on the cycle to get out the way? Or are you telling the blue car to get out the way? I think what he means is what you're doing is I think he wants the blue car to get out of the way, obviously.
This copyright strike has now been taken down, and if you'd like to have a look at the process of how this happened, check out Black Belt Barrister's video on the subject because he had the same problem. So effectively, you can use videos that have been posted on Twitter for analysis and review under fair use. And I think it's quite comical that there's loads of users on Twitter who have now blocked me from seeing their posts. Do you really think that's going to stop me?
The first clip that we're going to look at happened in London, and particularly the A24 or Balham High Road. We'll have a look at the clip in full first, and then I'll go through it.
Okay, this situation is a bit tricky because obviously the cyclist is going too fast, and obviously he's got to be aware of this van that's about to pull out of the road on the left. However, he should be aware of the lorry on his right, because if the van decides to try to crash into the lorry, he'll end up crashing into the cyclist. But obviously, he won't do that because obviously he'll just crash into the lorry if he does that. Okay, you shouldn't really be telling the van to reverse back because he can't really reverse back because he'd probably have to tell the cars behind him to move back. Okay, that lorry is really too close to the cyclist because what he's doing is he's getting too close to the cyclist. But please let me know in the comments if a cyclist has almost been knocked off their bike because of somebody who's trying to cut them up. Because a lot of cyclists are being cut up on the road anyway, like this lorry for an example, obviously. I don't know why you're waving at the lorry driver, mate, because he didn't really do anything. However, if you know those traffic cylinders in those cycle lanes, because these cycle lanes sometimes have those traffic cylinders, for an example, that I assume they are black and white, but please let me know in the comments if they are black and white, because I'm not really sure.
So we've obviously got a cycle lane, a narrow road, and a lorry coming up. On seeing the vehicle that stuck out over the cycle lane trying to emerge, I would be leaving myself options. It's irrelevant if I was on a bicycle in a lane or in a motor vehicle in a lane. There's no in the world I would go past this lorry on the left-hand side. And we all should know the space cyclists need to be safe. But this cyclist decides to go through that gap. What if the van driver's foot slips off the clutch? You'd be under that lorry in a second. But instead, the cyclist tries to reprimand. I've paused the clip at this point because the lorry driver is encroaching into the cycle lane. And I would have hoped he would have seen the cyclist and taken a different option than this. At the end of the day, they've got to look after the more vulnerable. But this is what the lorry driver saw at this point. There's not enough room to fit round the bollards without encroaching into the cycle area. And the lines surrounding the cycle area mean that if it's safe and necessary, you can go in it. However, the cyclist is making it unsafe, so they shouldn't have gone to the left. It was good to see the cyclists get out of the danger, but now they decide to put themselves straight back in it. The road is really narrow at this point. And if the lorry driver is aware of the cyclist, they're being really stubborn and dangerous. But so is the cyclist. Thankfully, that was the last of this pointless jostling for position. How did you see this clip?
For this next clip, we've got another one from Jeremy Vine, who I've already featured on the channel, and as always, it's full of dramatic effect. Let's have a look at it first.
Okay, if this van is turning left, he should signal a little bit early, but obviously he's just moved away from the left hand side. So he's probably forgot to put his left signal on, obviously, because he did signal right to move away, but he didn't signal left to turn left into that road on the left. You shouldn't really proceed down the cycle lane because some people do turn left or right without a signal on, which is quite weird. But please let me know in the comments if you're a cyclist and you've seen a van or a car turn in front of you, because a lot of people are really reckless and do that. And hopefully, people do not learn to do this in the future when they start driving, because it'll be quite stupid if they do this.
Whoa! What are you doing?
Whoever Jeremy gets to edit his clips does a lot of work in trying to make the situations look worse than they actually are. And this clip is literally a non-event. But the first question asked is a good one. And it's about the bin wagon over to the left. But you can already see the slowing down. The use of this target on the bin wagon has taken your attention away from the main focus of the clip, which is the van driver across the other side, who's already started moving. And then we're treated to a nice zoom in, which makes it look as though the van's pulled out closer than they actually did. The overlay with the picture, in my opinion, does two things. It makes it appear to be a near-death experience, but it also blocks what the van driver could be showing Jeremy on his bike. And what I mean by that is, if the van driver looks over the shoulder, Jeremy should know he's been seen. But if the van driver doesn't, he hasn't been seen. And this would greatly affect my positioning now. This pause is to show when the cyclist would be entering the viewable area of the right mirror of the van. And if the van driver hasn't looked over the shoulder, look how quickly the cyclist disappears from view again. And now the cyclist thinks this is the safe option. Another nice zoom in to make it feel worse. No, the van didn't signal. But if you've been watching the red car up ahead, the gap in between the red car and the van has been consistently growing. In other words, the van's slowing down. And what else are they going to do at this point, do you think? Well, it's one of two things. They'll either let the black car out or they're going to turn left. We obviously know which one they did.
What are you doing?
In this graphic on the right, I think the word driver should be replaced with road user.
The reliance on solely looking out for signals rather than learning true roadcraft and observation is unfortunately prevalent. In this final clip, we're going to see two road users who were travelling too fast for their level of observation. No further analysis is required on this one. Keep safe, everyone, and I hope to see you soon.
Okay, so first of all, this woman, before she steps out behind any car, obviously, she needs to look left and right. But obviously, this road looks like it's one way, so I assume she only needs to look left. But as you can see, this cyclist, by the looks of it, he is not aware of this woman stepping out. Obviously, it doesn't really look like a motorbike, but I'm not really sure if it is a motorbike. It might be a cyclist, but I'm not really sure.
You alright? Not any faster. I was only going 20.
Anyway, that was a little video that was. If you have enjoyed the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment on the video, and make sure that you turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. Until the next one, see you back here.